Hey y'all, it's Indigo here. Wanted to make a little video today and show you guys how I've been dealing with CLS Nest on a team, whether I'm fighting, some scoundrel teams or whether it might be on a bounty hunter team where she's in there. I want to show you guys kind of how I deal with her. I know a lot of people like to use Traya, Nihilus, and just annihilate her and not have to worry about it, but it seems like more and more teams these days need Traya, and we only got the one Traya and one Nihilus to go around. So I'm going to show you guys how I've been dealing with it. You can see the footage on the screen was just a regular CLS team, and I sped it up and all that so you wouldn't have to watch the whole thing, but easily these teams can turn into a draw. I've done it, and I've seen it done to some buddies of mine, and you're just pounding away for 3-4 minutes and nothing happens. There's nothing you can do. It seems like you take too much turn meter away with the CLS team that you're just going to time yourself out, and then you're going to have to go back and use another battle and do a cleanup. And whether that's Territory Wars or Grand Arena now, that one extra battle can do you in. I mean, it seems like, at least in my GP range, if you go multiple battles on something, you better be prepared to lose. So you want to get it in one shot and be done with it. I've tried a couple variations of this CLS team, trying to take out C3PO, and I put Chirrut and Baze in there and figured maybe they don't take away turn meter. Maybe I can line up the hits. You have to line up the hits just right to be able to hit Nest right when she's ready to take a turn and do big damage. And if you can't do big enough damage, all she's going to do is get yellow or red barred and then go right back into gaining protection and time you out. It's very difficult to kind of line up the big hit right when you need it. And so what I've been using a lot of these times now is my Wampa. I stick Wampa as the 5th on a CLS team, and he can power up and get in a big hit right when you need it and be able to take out Nest. And so I recorded some footage. I'm going to show you guys here. Let me go ahead and show you my Wampa first, and you can see just how he is. And then I'll show you the footage that I recorded using him on some different teams to be able to take out a team with Nest. Alright, so here's my Wampa. You can see his stats. He doesn't have all 6 emods on him, but I did recently just take him to Gear 13. He doesn't have the Zeta that puts down the health immunity, although that would be huge. I mean, if I ever get a spare Zeta, I'm going to strongly consider that now. But you can see at Gear 13, and with the mods that I do have on him, I've got crit damage mods on him, and he gets 5,000 physical damage. It's it's crazy. It ramps it up. You want him to have a ton of damage so that as he powers up, when he takes that big hit, it's going to be a one-shot KO. So try and get him over 5,000. I know Endall has his at like 5,500, and mine just has kind of leftover mods. I haven't specifically farmed and 6E'd his whole set just for him, but I'm working on that. But here he is at Gear 13, and he can get the job done, guys. Let me show you some of this footage that I recorded over a period of time in Grand Arena and Territory Wars, and show you just kind of how he fits into a couple different teams. So here's a team that I tried out in one Grand Arena. I used Rex with Wampa and then Chirrut and Baze, and I had Nest. I was using her on offense at that time, so I went ahead and threw in my own Nest just because I had her. And this may not be a team that you'll use, but I just wanted to show it to you because I happen to have the footage and it worked out really well. And this was back when my Wampa was Gear 12, so he wasn't Gear 13 with the extra damage, didn't hit quite as hard, and I think you'll see that come into play here. But it's just a basic Kira's Scoundrel team, and usually Nest will be the last one left because you end up focusing on everyone else. And there is, different ways you can go about it. I'm sure there's people out there that say, well, if you focus on Nest, during the battle, you won't have her to the end and it'll help you line up your hits a little better. And that's true. I mean, if you can do that, hey, go for it. But sooner or later, it seems like you're going to end up with Nest being the last one alive and you're going to have to deal with that situation. And I'm just trying to show you how I deal with it. And I've used this successfully quite a number of times now. So I wanted to be sure and get this video out there just so that people know. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't realize just how powerful of a character that Wampa can be. And a lot of people are kind of neglecting Wampa in favor of, I got to work on my geos, I got to do this. But Wampa is a great plug-and-play character that can do a lot of work, not just in this team, but you can see there, Wampa hits decently hard whenever he gets to go. If I had the healing immunity, it would help that much more. Counterattacks, Wampa can power himself up. So watch this hit that Wampa's fixing to do. And I slowed it down there. Right there, almost 48k. And if I would have had him gear 13 at the time, that would have been it. And the Nest just followed up. So was able to take out the enemy Nest right there. Here's another team where it's got Rex and Wampa and Hermit Yoda and then 2 tanks. And I just threw K2 in there with Stormtrooper. And I sped it up a little bit so you guys don't have to watch the whole, the whole thing takes a while. But this was something that I ended up trying out in one match because I didn't have Nest like you saw in the previous clip. And this is the Rex Wampa team that I normally run with Hermit Yoda, throw Master's Training on Wampa so he gets a bit stronger. And then just 2 tanks to help soak up some damage while Wampa powers up. And I don't think he was gear 13 in this clip either. But I knew I could do it, with just Wampa. Didn't need Nest there. And I wanted to show more of a team that people are used to running. A lot of people run Rex with Hermit Yoda and then Wampa in there. And, you may do just those 3 or you may do some others. And I just throw 2 tanks because I had 2 leftover tanks. Figured that would help insulate Wampa from some damage early on, just so he can get up and moving. And so that's all that's happening here, working on this team. It's a basic Kira team. You got L3 and Vandor in there. One of the harder parts is to try and kill off L3 when Vandor is not prepared. That way L3 won't be coming back. And was able to do that there. Of course, you want to get rid of Vandor as soon as you can. That way he won't be bringing back Nest or any of the others. It is kind of a pain. And in this match, it was a bit of a stretch. I think with gear 13 Wampa, it'll be slightly easier just because of more damage. But you can see got rid of Vandor there. Now it's just Stormtrooper, Han, and Kira, and they're no threat. It all comes to being able to hit Nest and do enough damage at the right time. And with Master's Training on there, that actually does help you a bit, gives you a little bit more damage, and Wampa can just get that little bit of extra juice. And by now, he's sufficiently powered up, so I'll slow it down here so you can see. Here it goes. Here's Wampa, 62k crit on Nest. Okay, that one hit, and that can get the job done. So I just wanted to stop it right there so you could see that. Wampa can throw out some huge damage. And there he goes, right there is the death blow. Another 60k crit, and done. That's the end of Nest. And this was on auto, at the very end, trying not to time out. Normally this team's kind of weak to take out Nest, but it can be done if that's all you have left. Here's more recently, this is a team that I took in with CLS, Han, Chewie, and then I like to use Chopper just because he's good at throwing up a taunt, and he's got the move where he can take buffs off, and his little rock throw doesn't really do anything. You don't have to worry about him reducing turn meter. So he's a really nice character to have extra. And then of course Wampa, and this is Wampa at gear 13. So you're going to be able to see what I'm talking about when I use my CLS squad as a nest killer. And this is against a bounty hunter squad that I ran across. Sometimes, you may be forced to use a CLS squad if you're against faster bounty hunters and you can't use your imp troopers. You want to go with your Han so he can shoot first and you can stun boss and get control of the battle that way. Well, if Nest is in there, that's going to mess up your counter and you'll be stuck with a CLS team that reduces too much turn meter to kill off Nest and go a second round. That's why people stick her in the bounty hunter team. So that way she can be a stumbling block from a team that you would normally use. So this is a way that you can still use your CLS team and get the job done. You just have to have Wampa in there, modded for some good damage, and Wampa can get in a good hit and knock Nest out. You can see I'm down to just Nest and then Dengar there, except Dengar keeps going into stealth, so there's nothing you can do as far as hitting him, trying to line up your hits. Just got to keep powering up Wampa and waiting for the chance to get that big hit in. You can see I'm using basics on my other characters and the moves that won't take off much turn meter. I don't want to use CLS's middle special to reduce the whole turn meter bar. You want Nest to go, and as soon as she goes, then you can get that big hit in. So that's what I'm trying to do, is line it up. And it's about to come up here. You'll be able to see just how Wampa does it. She's at about half health right now, and here goes Wampa getting ready to do his thing. Boom, 61k crit. Was able to take Nest from half health and knock her out, and then you don't have to worry about it. And there's still 2.5 minutes left on the game clock, so that's enough time to be able to get rid of Dengar and complete the match. So hope this was helpful, guys. Let you know that Wampa can be used and you don't have to waste your Traya and Darth Nihilus and get all complicated. Just throw Wampa in with your CLS team or even a Rex team, and you should be able to take out Nest with a little bit of practice. Hope it was helpful. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.